What's up guys, Jimmy here with another video. This video that I'm doing right now, it is directed towards Phil Spencer, who's the new head of the Xbox division. And this video, any of this video footage probably won't get to him because, you know, I'm just a small-time YouTuber. But I wanted to make this video not only for him, but also for you guys, talking about things that I'm hoping will take place in the not-too-distant future for the Xbox One. A lot of you guys already know I'm a big fan of my Xbox 360. I've got a whole lot of games for it. I just fell in love with the huge list of quality games I was able to pick up for that console. And today I want to go over 10 things, my top 10 things that I hope Phil Spencer would consider for the Xbox division. So let's go ahead and get started. Any of you guys out there that have things that you want Xbox to do in the not too distant future, definitely leave those comments and suggestions in the section below. It would definitely be appreciated. So here we go. My top 10 requests for the Xbox One for Phil Spencer to consider. So here we go. Number 10, make Xbox Live Gold a better value. Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of you gamers out there maybe buy dozens of games every year. Some of the games you might play online. Some of you guys might prefer to only play games online. Some of you guys might prefer to play maybe 1 or 2 games online. And of course, to play on the Xbox 360 or Xbox One, you have to have an Xbox Live Gold account. Now the problem that I have though is that many of us, or many of you out there who maybe have 1 to 2 to 3 games that you play online per year, that's kind of a high price to pay, whether you're paying $50 or $60 a year for Xbox Live Gold. Let's just say that you have only 1 game that you play every year online. Basically what that means is that Xbox Gold account is, for most of us, only used for playing online. So instead of paying $50 or $60 for a game, you're actually paying $100, $110, $120 for the privilege of playing that game online. Not that great of a value. I know there's different maybe incentives of having a gold account. Maybe you get even better deals when certain sales come along, which I'll talk more about that at the end of this video. But I really want there to be a greater incentive, more incentives to have an Xbox Live Gold account, just a better value all around. $50 or $60 a year, and you know, that's a game. So have there more incentive for an Xbox Live Gold account and try to include more value. In at number 9, have more exclusives and less timed exclusives. I've got a lot of games for the Xbox 360 and I've got a lot of games for the PlayStation 3. And one of the big differences I noticed is the 360 had a lot of exclusives and the PS3 had a lot of exclusives as well. But by far, the Xbox 360 had way more timed exclusives. And what I mean by that is they'd have this game, whether it was Lost Planet or Star Ocean, and in a short amount of time, that exclusive became multi-platform. Which, you know, I understand certain things, and perhaps it's a lot less expensive to have a timed exclusive than an exclusive, you know, for the life of that title, that particular title. But I'm hoping this time around with the Xbox One that there's far less timed exclusives. That's just what I'm hoping for, because, you know, if you've got these multi-platforms, like, you know what, it's on the Xbox One, but in a year or two it'll be on the PS4. I can wait. There's a lot of games on the PS4 I'm playing right now. I can wait a year or two, and I can just wait for that game eventually to be a multi-platform and to be ported or to be brought to my console. So that is that for number 9. More exclusives and less timed exclusives. And at number 8, continue to support Japan publishers and developers with quality titles. And what I mean by that, you know, the first Xbox system did not do that well at all in Japan. And, you know, if you compare the 360 and the PS3, obviously the PS3 did a lot better, or is doing a lot better in Japan than the 360. However, the 360, in terms of console sales, did way better than the original Xbox. And one of the things they were able to do is they were able to release these high quality JRPGs and other titles that appeal to that particular market. I'm going to name off some games for you guys, 5 games in particular, which were very important for the 360 in Japan. Ace Combat 6, Blue Dragon, Lost Odyssey, Star Ocean Last Hope, Tales of Vesperia. These 5 games, of course, Star Ocean Last Hope was made a multi-platform game for the PS3, and Tales of Vesperia was made available on the PS3 in Japan. But those 5 games, Ace Combat 6, Blue Dragon, Lost Odyssey, Star Ocean Last Hope, and Tales of Vesperia, those 5 games made it possible for a lot of 360 consoles to be sold in relation to how it had been doing in prior weeks. Once those games were released in the market, a lot of gamers in Japan picked up those games in an Xbox 360 console. Those 5 games, I would say, I don't know, they sold 100, 200,000 consoles. Because every week I would check up on the sales. Those 5 games alone responsible for a lot of consoles in Japan. So I think if the Xbox division continue to focus with important developers like Capcom, Square Enix, and some of the other maybe lesser known, not Capcom or Square Enix, those are the 2 big ones, of course, Konami. They can continue to work with those developers. I think they'll continue to find success in Japan. Will they find as much success as the PS4? Probably not. But I think the only way that the Xbox is ultimately going to fail in Japan is if they give up. If you give up in Japan, you're going to fail automatically. But if you can continue to strive to bring quality titles that are made available through these quality developers, I think you're going to win over a lot of gamers, not just in Japan, but worldwide. I think why the Xbox 360 was so successful, I was really happy with the wide variety of games. I have a lot of JRPGs and games that are released from Japanese developers, and I'm just so grateful for that. I think a lot of gamers who are on the fence, who maybe even only preferred third-person shooters or first-person shooters, thought, you know what, there's some good games. Final Fantasy 13, that's on the 360. There are a lot of games like that I think put them over the edge. And some of these JRPGs on the 360, they didn't sell millions like Call of Duty, but I think they're nonetheless just as important in terms of enticing gamers to pick up the console. They're like, wow, there's a wide variety of games. It's more than just first-person shooters. There's quality JRPGs. That's just my take. Continue to foster and to build relationships of trust with Japanese developers and publishers, and continue to bring those types of titles that were found on the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One. Okay. Number 7, make the external hard drive option simple, intuitive, and affordable. Okay, now with the Xbox 360, when gamers needed to expand and get a new hard drive, or maybe they went from the original Xbox 360 to the Xbox 360 Slim, they had transfer files, there was a lot of confusion. It wasn't so cut and dry for a lot of gamers. There's a lot of confusion. But if they can this time around make things simple and even affordable, and maybe even make it possible where you could just purchase a third party or another brand of hard drives, whether it's from like a company like Seagate, so that they can just put that into the USB slot connection and just be able to put games onto their hard drive. Main reason for this is because games are just they're ever expanding and they're ever growing in size, and so a lot of gamers out there, their hard drives are getting close to being filled maximum. And some of you out there might say, oh, just delete it and install it later. I mean, what a drag. A lot of you out there have limited time to play games, and the last thing you want to have to do is worry about the amount of space that's on your hard drive. So anyway, if they can make things simple, make things intuitive, because the Xbox One has only been out for several months. Hopefully it's going to be here for several years. And a lot of gamers like myself, have you seen my Xbox 360 collection? If I had just maybe a tenth or a quarter of that for the Xbox One, that hard drive would be full. So there you go. Make the improvement or have an external hard drive be simple, intuitive, and affordable. Have that option. Because could you have a hard drive that's only for the Xbox One? The Xbox One hard drive, you have to get this external hard drive, and you have to have it so it's very expensive. You could do that, but you have to ask yourself, are you in the business of making hard drives, or are you in the business of making sure that gamers are happy? I hope you're in the business of making gamers happy and buying a lot of games, because if you focus on the games and gamers, you'll be happy in the long run. Okay, number 6. Make all international game purchases possible over Xbox Live. Okay, sometimes a game is released in a certain country or region and it's not available in another country or region. Giving you an example, for a long time Tales of Vesperia in the United States was available, and it was available in the United States, it was available in Japan. Certain other regions didn't have access to it. Maybe it wasn't available at retail or over Xbox Live. I think not too long ago it was also made available in those other regions. But to buy it, they had to pay a lot of money. They had to go through certain avenues to do that. I think all games, whether you understand the language or not, some people might go, oh, you don't understand this language, why would you want to buy it? Not all games require you to know the language to play them and to enjoy them. I have a couple different Xbox Live accounts. I've got one for the United States and I have one in Japan. The reason why I did that is because I'd be able to play some of the great games that are were available, and to check out what's available in Japan. So make it possible. Make it possible for your single Xbox Live account to have access to games across the many different regions and countries in this world. That is number 6. Number 5, this one's a really important one to me. Commission Rare, the developers Rare, commission Rare to develop 3 games that target the core gamers. And one of those games being a true follow-up to Banjo-Tooie. Okay, so thank Rare for their great work and diligence for creating the avatars and the Kinect sports titles and all the other Kinect work that they did. Now's the time to truly have... Now, I understand, Rare's not the same company they were several years ago or 10 years ago or 15 years ago. I get that. However, I think we should give them the opportunity and responsibility to create some great titles for us. Now, some of the IPs and franchises that they worked on in the past maybe might not be available or have access to be on the Xbox brand, but I think the Banjo series is a great place to start. That's just me. Have Rare develop 3 games and have that be a priority. Okay, number 4, strive to make backwards compatibility a reality. Not too long ago I read an article on IGN talking about it, how they had talked about this, and hopefully this will be the case. This would be great, just mainly because I would love to be able to access my Xbox 360 games, play those Xbox 360 games on the Xbox One. My Xbox 360, I'm on my 4th Xbox 360, okay? I bought it in the first year that it was released. I first got the Red Ring of Death. The second one, actually, there was something wrong with the video card where the audio would pop up but no video. So I had to send it in, get it repaired, they sent it back. Then the third time, I got another Red Ring of Death. I had to send it in, they sent it back. I'm on my 4th Xbox 360. I haven't had any overheating problems, but now what I found is, and I've been doing my best to fix it, is I press the eject button and the game will not eject. And sometimes it'll take 5 to 10 minutes before the game finally pops out. So being able to not have to buy another Xbox 360 and just have an Xbox One to be able to play my Xbox 360 games on the Xbox One would be fantastic. Okay. Let's see, number 3, a price drop. It needs to happen. And I know I had the chance to watch a video by Boogie2988, and he talked about a lot of people complaining on how, Why have there be a price drop in like the first year of the system being purchased? You know, a lot of those gamers who bought it day one, they're being ripped off. And then Boogie had mentioned on how a good idea would have maybe an early adopters program similar to the 3DS, where those who had the chance to get an Xbox One early on will be rewarded with whether it be some games or some special gifts that are available to early adopters. That's a possibility, but I think the Xbox One needs to be more competitive in price, whether it's having a straight up price drop or having an option available where you have the Xbox One without the Kinect. I think they need to be more competitive with price. There needs to be a $399 Xbox One. That's just me. Number two, this is a really important one to me. Have game sales that rival Steam sales. Now, I love this Steam platform. I had the chance last year to have my own custom built PC, and I absolutely love it. I spend so much time on Steam, and I've been able to find so many incredible deals, not just throughout the weeks, but also I've been able to build up my library through like Humble Bundle, and it's fantastic. It's amazing. This is what I found with the Xbox 360. Several years ago, around Christmas time, there were some incredible game deals. And I got some great deals on Xbox 360 games, whether it was full games or arcade games. But what I noticed the past couple years, the 360 started to do really, really well in sales. And I noticed the past couple years, you know, the 360 was selling so well, I noticed that those sales weren't as good. And I'm not sure if this was on purpose, but it felt to me like the Xbox division was like, yeah, the console's selling really well. We don't really need to do sales that well because the console's selling well and the games are selling well. I think if gamers have enough faith to buy the console and buy games, they should be privileged to have sales, while maybe not as fantastic and as incredible as the Steam summer sales, to have something a little more better than what they're offered. You know, 50% off, 60% off, 80% off, 85% off, 90% off. It's not unheard of to have these types of sales, and I think they really need to happen to just encourage good morale in the Xbox community. Okay, and the number one request, Phil Spencer right now, his priority is to make sure the gamers know that the Xbox One is a gaming platform and that is all about games. My number one request is that Phil Spencer will continue to ensure, strive, and make sure that the Xbox One's foundation is on games. It's on gaming. Does it do other things? Yes. Does it play shows? Does it play movies? Does it play sporting events? Yes, it does these things. Does it play music? Yes, it does. Does it give you the opportunity to Skype and do other things? Yes, but the core foundation, the core focus and the foundation to which the Xbox One be laid on and to strive for is to be all about the games. Those of you guys, again, if you've had the chance to see my Xbox 360 collection videos, I love the games that are made available for the 360, and I think the Xbox One has some real potential to be something special. If they can focus on the games and to make sure that they cater to gamers like you and me, I think we'll all be happy. Anyway, guys, that's my message for Phil Spencer. Phil, I hope you heard this, and thanks for all you do, and I can't wait to see what you guys have at this year's E3. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later.